is Wave 31 News at 10.
Well, the heat is on this weekend, officially summer. It's going to be feeling like it. I'll have an update on temperatures and what the humidity will make it feel like coming up in your forecast.
Tonight at 10, one local mom's plea to the community to help her find her missing daughter. Plus, June is Men's Health Month, and we're hearing from one doctor why it's essential to have regular prostate cancer screenings. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Wave 31 News at 10. I'm Jim Abbott. With the solstice technically just 18 minutes ago, it is now officially summer, and Mother Nature is letting us know about it with this weekend's forecast. Let's check in with Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle. And Jeff, that heat is coming in hot.
It is. We've got our first heat advisory of the season of 2025. Just in time for summer to kick off this weekend. Does not include everyone in North Alabama, but if you're out here towards the Mississippi border and points north and west from there, heat advisories are in play. This kicks in at noon Saturday, runs until 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. That heat index, or the feels like number, could get as high as 105 or maybe a couple degrees above that out across parts of Lauderdale, Colbert, as well as Franklin County. And I think it's probably just a matter of time before we see some of these heat advisories expanded eastward over the next couple of days. But it is a sign of things to come. We're going to talk about the heat and how hot it will be feeling going forward from here, coming up in your forecast in just a few minutes. Other than that, though, pretty quiet. The showers that we had a little bit earlier back here in the northwest corner of the state, as I told you, at 5 and 6 o'clock, went away with the loss of daytime heating. We are getting some radar returns over here in Jackson County. I'm trying to figure out what it is. It is something biological in the vicinity of the lake and the Tennessee River, and sometimes the radar can pick up these things, not just precipitation. So kind of interesting to see over there in Jackson County right now. Muscle Shoals looking good right now on our Thompson Roofing and Construction Skycam network. All clear back in that direction, and it's expected to stay that way through tomorrow morning. We'll have mostly clear skies overnight tonight. I'm not expecting a repeat of the fog that we woke up to early this morning, although there could be a few patches of that a little bit later on tonight, but not like it was this morning, extensive across the area. We're not expecting a repeat of that. Low 70s as you wake up in the morning, and then a quick climb into the low to mid 80s by 9, 10 o'clock. It will be a hot and a humid start to the weekend. Back in just a few moments, we're going to talk about that. A little more of that pop-up rainfall also in our forecast the next couple days. I'll have an updated look with future radar coming up in your forecast.
Well, an Albertville family is calling on the community to help them find missing 15-year-old Kensley Shelton, who hasn't been seen since Monday. Wave 31's Georgia Clark spoke with her family today and brings us this story.
Kensley Shelton has been missing since Monday, and her family's been getting tips of her being seen everywhere from Gadsden to Boaz. But with no solid lead other than the red truck she was seen leaving in, they're getting desperate. This video shows the moment Kensley Shelton was driven away in a red Ford F-250 around 10 p.m. on Monday night. And with who, her parents aren't sure.
We have no idea. I know that obviously somebody knows something, and at this point they think they're protecting her, and they're not protecting her. They're putting her in more danger, if anything. Somebody knows something.
Holman says her daughter is a fun and sweet girl who loves her siblings, especially her baby sister, and they are all desperate for her to come home.
We need her home, and we need to know she's okay. We can't sleep. We can't do anything. We need to know she's okay.
And to whoever's driving that red truck, Holman, Kensley's father, and her stepfather are at the point they'll do anything.
We need her more than you do. You can call me from a text now number. You can block your number. You can do whatever you want to do, but we need our daughter home.
If they'll just text an address, I'll come pick her up.
With no questions asked. None.
It don't matter. Take her somewhere, drop her off. It don't matter. We just want our kid back.
If you have any information of where Kensley might be, call the Albertville Police Department at 256-878-1212. Reporting in Gunnersville with coverage you can count on, Georgia Clark, Wave 31 News.
3.5 years of legal battles for the family of Hannah Parton could come to an end on Monday. The man accused of killing Hannah in 2021, Jacob Stevens, is being offered a plea deal. Hannah was 24 when she was killed in a drunk driving incident that also took the life of another woman and injured 5 others. Authorities say Stevens was under the influence when he caused that crash, and now Hannah's mother, Sheila Smith, says it's time for him to pay for what happened.
It seemed like every time I turned around I was being let down. So yeah, I would say it's time it's just time for him to start paying for what he did, what he chose to do. Nobody told him, to get behind the wheel and drive, as impaired as he was.
Smith says going through a trial would just take too much of a toll on her and her family. Instead, they will offer him a plea deal of 30 years in prison. Now, there's no guarantee he will take it and could opt for a trial, but that hearing is set for 9 a.m. on Monday. Today, We 31 News got an up-close look at Crestwood Medical Center's new robotic surgical system. It was all part of a hands-on experience to let the public see the latest technology used at the hospital. The experience allowed anyone to sit at the robotic console and see what it is like to use the controls during a surgery. Doctors at Crestwood say there are multiple benefits when using the robot.
It helps patients go through surgery fairly quickly, and the biggest benefit is their recovery is so much less painful than traditional hysterectomies, which requires an open laparotomy, which is, in other words, a big incision in your belly. These robot patients get the benefit of having only 4 entry points and a quick recovery. They feel great so much quicker.
Now, they do stress that the robot itself is not doing the surgery. It's just used as a tool by the surgeon to complete the surgery. Well, June is Men's Health Month. Time to shine a spotlight on some of the most pressing health issues facing men today. One of those is prostate cancer, a disease that impacts hundreds of thousands each year. Yet many men are still hesitant to talk about it, let alone get screened. We 31's State Capitol reporter Philip Green sat down with one Alabama doctor working to change that conversation.
As men, sometimes we're not inclined to prioritize health, skipping routine checkups or putting off conversations about what's really going on. With prostate cancer, it often goes undetected until it's in a later stage, but taking that first step towards screening can make all the difference.
In terms of detection of prostate cancer, early detection is important. Yearly to biannual screening, depending on different recommendations from different medical societies. A yearly blood test to check a PSA, which means prostate-specific antigen. An elevation of that could mean that you have elevation in your risk of prostate cancer.
For many men, the signs that something might be wrong are easy to dismiss, such as tiredness or frequent bathroom trips. But those subtle symptoms can sometimes point to something much more serious.
When you're seeing symptoms from prostate cancer, it's usually later in the stages of things. So oftentimes it can be asymptomatic, and that's why getting that PSA checked is important. Problems with urination, frequency of urination, decreased strength in the stream of urination, any change from your baseline urinary habits, unexplained weight loss is also something to look out for.
With coverage you can count on, Philip Green, Way 31 News.
Now, if you haven't had a screening or had one in a while, the Madison County Health Department has a day set aside to help you out. They are holding prostate cancer screenings on Tuesday, July 8th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's at the Madison County Health Department. They are at 301 Max Luther Drive in Huntsville, and those screenings are free. The Huntsville Country Club celebrates a big milestone, how members and guests are looking back at history and carrying their mission into the future. And in the longest day of the year, the Rocket City celebrates with music. We'll take you to the summer solstice concert.
And we're talking all about the heat and humidity, but we're not 100% done with rainfall either. A few pop-up showers could impact some of you over the course of the weekend. We'll talk about those rain chances with future radar coming up in your forecast.
Well, Huntsville Country Club is hitting a major milestone, celebrating a century of golf growth and community. And as the club reflects on its past, longtime members say they are just as focused on the future. For 100 years, the Huntsville Country Club has been a cornerstone of tradition and change, a place where the past and future meet on the green.
What'd you make, Bill? Par.
From its founding in 1925 to its current push for extended space, the club has transformed, now focusing on community, charity events, and youth development through junior golf camps.
It's just really, really wild to think back about all the things that this place has been around for.
Bill Moquin is a living part of that legacy. He's played in the club championship 50 times over 66 years and continues to inspire younger players.
It's an individual sport, so it's not really a team game. So it's all about how you handle it individually, and it's just a great game. It's just I love it.
The course has seen legends like Bob Lowry Sr. and Jr. and champions like Moquin, whose nearly 7-decade run is still going strong.
I'm 66. I still feel good. I hit it pretty good, for my age. I get to compete with these guys.
As the club steps into its next century, the goal is clear: grow, evolve, and pass the love of the game to the next generation.
We're on the rise, and the golf course is getting good, and everything looks really good out here, so I'm excited for the next few years.
At 100 years old, the Huntsville Country Club isn't just looking back, it's teeing up for the future.
Boom, baby!
A century down and many more to go. The Huntsville Country Club plans to keep swinging towards the next generation.